Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, Africa's agriculture stands at a critical crossroad. Climate volatility, price shocks, and rapid digitalization are shaping the sector at a pace that traditional planning mechanisms and survey cycles can no longer match. It is for this reason that this summit's theme, Data and Infrastructure at a Pivotal Moment, is not only timely, but strategically significant. Within this evolving context, data represents actionable intelligence, information that farmers and governments rely upon to make informed decisions. This includes insights on weather and climate risk, soil and water conditions, crop and livestock performance, pest and disease outbreaks, and market prices. Equally important is digital infrastructure, particularly digital public infrastructure, which provides the systems that render such data usable. These systems encompass digital identification, farmer and land registries, connectivity, and secure data sharing standards. The nexus between data and infrastructure is straightforward. Infrastructure generates and facilitates the movement of data, while data guides governments in investing in the right infrastructure. When these two components develop independently, countries may establish advanced digital platforms, yet remain unable to answer fundamental questions such as which farmers are most exposed to drought this season, where are food prices rising most rapidly, which interventions are delivering measurable impact. Alternatively, we may generate high-quality statistics that arrive too late to avert a crisis. This is where agile data becomes essential. Agile data refers to the generation of timely, decision-ready insights through the responsible integration of multiple sources, such as surveys, administrative records, geospatial information, and market data. For Africa's agriculture, achieving this integration can strengthen early warning systems, enhance targeting of subsidies and social protection, expand access to finance and insurance for farmers, and ultimately contribute to more resilient and sustainable food systems. Agile data and digital public infrastructure play a broader role in ensuring inclusive growth. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the push for digital public infrastructure and agile data is not an aspirational luxury. It is a catalyst for four critical and immediate transitions that will define the next decade for our continent, Africa. First, the expansion of digital payment systems and mobile money is transforming the economic landscape. By reducing the trust deficit through veritable or verifiable data, small and medium-sized enterprises can finally minimize transaction costs and access digital credit. Digital public infrastructure enables this by providing a common interface where a small merchant's transaction history can be used as a collateral for a loan, a feat impossible under fragmented legacy banking. Second, agile data is the engine of African continental free trade area. For a digital single market to work, systems must be interoperable across borders. The Pan-African Payment and Settlement System is a prime example of digital infrastructure in action. It allows for real-time cross-border payments in local currencies, cutting transaction costs by nearly 50% by removing the need for intermediary anchor currencies like the euro or US dollars. Third, reliable digital public infrastructure allows for the rapid sharing of agri-data. In a continent facing intensifying climate risk, precision farming and early warning systems supported by open data exchanges are boosting yields and resilience for smallholder farmers. Finally, Africa holds 60% of the world's solar resources. Digital public infrastructure can manage smart grids that integrate these renewable sources into regional electricity markets. This energy is vital for the next frontier, data centers. Currently, Africa's data center capacity is roughly 307 megawatts, less than 2% of the global total. To reach the required 1,200 megawatts by 2030, we must shift from relying on overseas servers, which increase latency and compromise digital sovereignty. Ladies and gentlemen, data infrastructure is a sovereign asset. To protect national interest, we must invest in African-owned infrastructure. While data center market is projected to grow from 3.4 billion in 2024 to 6.4 or 6.8 billion dollars in 2030, the distribution is uneven. 46% of capacity is concentrated in just 4 countries: South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, and Egypt. This imbalance stems from historical underinvestment in fiber backbones and reliable power. In bridging this gap, we must focus on investing in Tier 3 facilities. These are concurrently maintainable data centers that have redundant power and cooling systems, ensuring they never shut down, even during maintenance or localized power failures. We must also focus on strategic investments. In this regard, African countries are urged to allocate at least 1% of their GDP to national digital systems. This target is essential to transition from consumers of foreign technology to architects of our own digital destiny. Moreover, African countries require a massive scale-up of local technical expertise to manage their sovereign clouds. Ladies and gentlemen, as I move towards the end of my remarks, permit me to highlight that the African Union's Data Policy Framework 2024 and the Digital Transformation Strategy 2020 to 2030 provide a viable roadmap for African countries. By harmonizing our laws, such as the Malabo Convention, we ensure that data flows freely but safely across our borders. The Economic Commission for Africa is already turning this vision into reality. Through partnerships with GIZ, we are developing national data governance strategies in countries like Burundi, Democratic Republic of Congo, Mozambique, and Tanzania. Simultaneously, our digital ID projects have already registered over 16 million people in Ethiopia and are expanding across Togo, Malawi, and Nigeria. By building our own data centers, enacting strong laws, and investing in our people, we ensure that Africa's digital transformation supports trust, accountability, and inclusive growth, rather than reinforcing old divides. Let me conclude by leaving you with a question of critical importance at this pivotal moment. How can we ensure that digital infrastructure evolves beyond transactional systems to also serve as statistical infrastructure that drives resilience and inclusive growth? I thank you for your attention, and I wish you fruitful deliberations.